3 a.m. West African time, and this is Silverbird's Rhythm 93.7 Port Harcourt Viewpoint, the second segment. And note that Viewpoint airs every Saturday from 8:15 to 10 a.m. And most times we have two segments. We're done with the first. This second segment, we have someone very important, an activist. His name is Comrade Chetam Thierry Nwala, Esquire. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right. So we are looking at putting citizens' interest above personal agenda, putting the citizens' interests above personal agenda. Now, I want to ask you, Comrade Chetam, in the midst of the political crisis in the state, though it appears to be going down, there seems to be peace amongst the camps. How can we achieve peace in River State?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Come again, please.
I said, in the midst of this political crisis in River State, though it appears to have calmed down, how can we achieve peace in River State?
First of all, let me start by thanking you, and good morning to Rivers people and good morning to Nigerians. It's important that we get to address some of these critical issues and all that. And it's unfortunate that over the years, Rivers has always been in the news for mostly the wrong reasons. And what is happening in Rivers State is not new, or what has happened in Rivers State is not new. It's something we have seen happen. We saw that happen during the, it happens almost every transition period from the 2007 transition. We saw those issues come up down to the 2015 transition, and now this other transition period. We've always seen these issues happen and all that. And unfortunately, we have continually had people or ex-governors who try to produce their successor and take over and make sure that they're still in charge of the state and what have you, and whatever happens in the state. This is a sad one, and it's really an unfortunate situation, because I feel that when a man is given an opportunity to serve, after he is done serving, he should be able to allow he should be able to allow the other person serve out his time, make his mistakes, and also be criticized by the people who supposedly elected the said person. Now, in achieving peace in River State, you can't achieve peace in River State if you don't deal with the root causes of this instability we have in the state. Unfortunately, River State is a state where there is no end to politics. We play politics from the electioneering period down to the end of the administration, and this has become the trajectory of the state. It's an unfortunate situation. We see states like Lagos State that after the elections, you see them going into governance. You don't see politics continuing and all that. But in our own state, everything is done based on politics. There is no governance in River State. Appointments are made based on politics. Projects are awarded based on politics, and these are the root cause of some of these challenges we have. So you now see people and different ethnicity clamoring to produce governors from their ethnic groups. Now, this goes down to the root of the entire problems we face in the states. If we can look beyond our personal interest and looking at the interest of the state, the interest of the common man in River State, I tell you, this whole political challenges we are having won't have it, because every governor who emerges would want to go and develop his own area, will want to go and develop his locality. So people of different ethnic groups will not want to produce a governor from their ethnic nationality in order to get development, which is not supposed to be. We have not had a pan-Rivers governor. We have not had a pan-Rivers governor.
Never had for all these years?
Yes.
We've never had a pan-Rivers governor.
We've never had a pan-Rivers governor. And if we have someone who is actually close to a pan-Rivers governor to an extent, but didn't really capture that, maybe let's say Rotimi Amechi. Now, we've had a situation where people come in and what they come to drive an ethnic agenda. We saw that obviously in the Wike's administration, where purely it was an ethnic agenda, not even just an ethnic agenda, a village agenda Wike was driving in River State.
What do you mean by it was an ethnic agenda, the previous governor? How can you say that? What are the proof?
all the projects, the bulk of the projects he cited in the states were mostly in Obiabo local government area, mostly in the Equatorial region, and mostly in Falga too. So let's be sincere with all these things. If we have a pan-Rivers governor who is interested in the development of Rivers State, not his tribe, not his village, and not his ethnicity or his ethnic nationality, you see this, you discover that we would have a situation where every Rivers person will be excited, and the jostling and clamor for an ethnic governor will not be there. It would reduce drastically.
Okay, hold on a bit. I want to let you know, listening to us, this is Silver Bears Rhythm 93.7, Port Hackett. We're talking to our second guest, Comrade Chetam Thierry Nwala, Esquire. He's an activist, and we're doing this virtually. So you can still hook up with us on Facebook Live because we're live. You will see the process and drop your comments. Also, the lines that we will field and take calls from is 0902 333-9379, 0902-333-9379, or 0901-374-3199. Like I said, we're interviewing our second guest virtually, so you can just hook up on Facebook. Also, you can hear us through the terrestrial dial 937. And now let me come back to you. What can our leaders do to develop a peaceful society? Because majority of those that were supposed to act as mediators, they have taken sides.
Now, it's really unfortunate. That is the unfortunate situation we have found ourselves. We have found ourselves in a situation where persons who project themselves or who are supposed to be elders and opinion leaders of the state decide to be political and decide to take sides in this particular crisis we have found in the state. It's really unfortunate, and now it now questions the credibility of these persons, or the credibility of these persons, and our own recognition of these persons, to call these persons elders. Because when an elder decides not to behave like an elder and decide to behave like the youth or like a child, my father will always say that the elderhood of the person will be kept aside, and those who can actually get things done and fixed in the state would actually be allowed to get things done. See, let's be honest. These elders in River State were supposed to mediate, were supposed to resolve these issues, but for the fear of Wike, of whatever reasons and all that, they all decided to take side and to stand with Wike, even knowing fully well that what Wike is doing in River State is wrong. Because what we have always advocated is that allow the governor of River State to work.
Let me inform you. Hold up, sorry. Let me ask you. How would you say what Wike is doing in River State is wrong when in 8 years his developmental strides are evident? When he brought in, well, this now, consolidating on the new Rivers vision is the slogan. So how are you saying that he doesn't have enough ideas? He should take his hands off River State and allow Governor Sim. He cannot guide him. Is that what you're saying?
My brother, Rivers people understand what good governance looks like. We have seen good governance right from the time of Alfred Jetespliff. We saw good governance from Melford Okilo. We saw a bit of it, even if that administration did not last, from Rufus Ada George, down to Peter Odele, Celeste Domeya, Amechi. Let me tell you, in the history of River State, which is one of the worst we have had when it comes to governance. Let me tell you, we understand
what. Look at the road. There are no more traffic anymore. There are no more traffic in Falga and Obiabo. No, just let's be honest. People can move from oil mills straight to in 15 minutes.
When you talk about developmental strides in an environment in a state, you ask yourself, what is the employment rate or unemployment rate in River State when Wike took over and as at today? What is the unemployment rate in River? What is you use all the indices. No. You use every indices to look at these issues. You won't look at these issues from one angle. Use all the indices available to look at these issues. Now, what is the employment rate in the River State as at today? When you come back and look at the achievements of the previous administration, of the Wike administration, and some of the things he was able to put in place, how were these things sustained? For example, the Songhai farm. that Governor Sim is trying now to rehabilitate and to bring back on board. What did Wike do with it? Wike killed the Songhai farm that created employment for Rivers people. Wike built hospitals and locked it down. Locked it down completely. We see, we saw a situation. We saw a situation where we now bring out bans. We now do live national coverage to commission street roads. Something that is unheard of in River State. To commission street roads, to flag off street roads in River State. This is unheard of. We have seen government come into River State, construct roads without even commissioning them, because that is what we are known for. That is the kind of governance system we understand. We came in with a different kind of governance system. And that's why we have said, since you have forced SIM on us, we have accepted SIM. Allow SIM to do his work. You have done your 8 years, made your mistakes. We have criticized you. Okay, go away from the SIM. Give this man free hands to work. Let us criticize him. Let him make his own mistakes. See, let me tell you, I didn't support SIM, and I'm not also a supporter of Governor SIM. But
because you just said he forced SIM on reversible, or reversible massively elected SIM.
If you say Rivers people massively elected SIM, so be it. But we all know what happened in Rivers State during the elections. We all know how SIM became governor of Rivers State, how opposition political parties were stopped from campaigning. We all know how the electoral...
That should be for the presidential...
No.
For years now, when PDP started from Peter Odili, Rivers State has predominantly been a PDP state. Do you agree with that?
If you say Rivers State has been a predominantly PDP state, yes, you might be right in that to an extent. But the issue is this: previous administrations during elections have always given a soft landing to opposition to an extent to carry out their campaigns and not actually disrupting campaigns of opposition. But what we saw in the last elections, we saw disruption of opposition campaigns in the states, which was actually clearly wrong. But what we are saying is that since you have made this man governor, or you have forced this man down our throat as governor, we have accepted him as our governor. Allow him to do his work as governor. You said Rivers people voted for him. No problems. The man has seen. Let me tell you. Now, in as much as some of us are not happy with the way he came, but there are one or two things SIM has actually come up with that we some of us feel that, oh, there is hope for this state. Like the restoration of the Songhai farm. Because we know the rate of unemployment in Rivers State is drastic. People are leaving Rivers State in drones. Some of us who live outside Rivers State are not happy living outside Rivers State because we have all our friends, we have our family members in Rivers State, and we want to return back to Rivers State. But we can't return back to Rivers State because there is so much economic instability in Rivers State. There are no employment in Rivers State. So SIM has come up with the banana to revamp the Songhai farm in Ogoni, which is a good thing. And we commend him for that particular move. Now, one of the drastic things he did, which actually made sense to me, and that's why I still also commend him in some of these moves, and we're also quiet, allowing him, so that in the next 2 years, we'll now get to compare his administration from the previous administration and other administrations we have had, is he also came up with the SME loans. The 4 billion naira SME loan he came up with. Brilliant idea. Because, let me tell you, the previous administration used task force to kill businesses in Rivers State. Companies left the state, small businesses suffered. So if this man is saying, let us give loans to small businesses and see how they can survive and also create employment, because let me tell you, every thriving city you find is private sector driven. It is not public sector driven. You pack remote precon people and employ them in UST, employ them in the civil service, and you now tell us you have created employment. That is not employment, and that is not sustainable employment, because the government cannot employ everybody. You have to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, for employment to take place. You have to create an enabling environment, which is what we have seen that this man is trying to do. And if he is trying to do that, why don't we give him the support and say, okay, go ahead? Because what our interest is, we want a better Rivers State, irrespective of who is at the helm of affairs. We want a better Rivers State. And if SIM is giving us a glimpse of hope, different from what we saw in the previous administration, we are saying, we can allow him to continue. Don't interrupt his administration. We can say the man, he should go. You want to impeach the man, you want him to leave. How? Under a period of about 6 months, we're saying, leave him. He has shown great strides. He has shown signs of greatness. Allow him. Let us see if we can now come back and start competing with states like Lagos. Because as of today, Rivers State is not competing with states like Lagos. Now, at the end of the day, the fight between, or disagreement between Wike and Governor Sim is affecting the masses greatly, because River State, as presently constituted, is currently on a pause. Nothing is happening in the state. Everywhere is on standstill.
The present government of River State under Sim Fubara has come up to say that no, contrary to some of the critics saying, because of the rift that happened previously some weeks ago, that River State is currently on pause. But they've said no, work is still ongoing, but maybe because we don't see the usual going out on sites like he did on Shanghai Farm, but he's been going out. Yesterday, there is a project which was commissioned. No, hold on. It's a project that was commissioned, not actually, Sim made it known that it's not a River State government project, but it is commendable because it will provide jobs for some River State youth. And what we request for people is investors to come in. So the FCT Minister was also there, and there seemed to be peace between them because the governor of River State said his own, the FCT Minister said his own. He even said, the FCT Minister, they can give properties in Abuja for people from River State to come and expand investment there. Don't you think it's a good thing for investors to come in?
I recently discussed with a few of my friends here in Abuja and about possibility of returning back to River State to start up a farm. And let me tell you, the challenges we have had to discuss over the past 2 weeks is the challenges of the political instability in River State. How will an investor come to invest in an unstable and uncertain environment like River State?
How would you say the state is unstable in terms of what, security or politics?
Let me tell you, looking at the political crisis in the River State, looking at the political, every investor, there are a lot of things an investor will look at before coming to putting his money in an environment. And that is why you see most of the multinationals in River State have been living or have left River State for the past 8 years. Now, because when you look at the state is not business friendly. The state is hostile, and there are lots of political instability. It becomes an issue. That is why we say, allow this man to work so that there will be a little form of stability. We're talking about hypercity. And the biggest question we're asking is that who owns hypercity? Nobody has been able to give us an answer to that question. Who owns hypercity? Is it that some persons are using River's money to build? That's the question we're asking. Is it that some persons in River State have used River's money to build hypercity, and they tell us that they are now as their own private businesses, and they're telling us now that they are created jobs in River State?
Who are you pointing fingers at as the owner of
Rivers people should be able to the Rivers people should be able to determine that. We all see the truth of the matter about River State is funny, is that we all know the truth on the streets, but nobody wants to say the truth just as it is. But everybody,
nobody knows where you are. We're talking to you via virtually.
No.
Who do you think owns hypercity?
There is something we must understand. For me, I've always said this, that to live is gain. To die is gain, and to live is a privilege. And for me, I'm not one person who is actually scared of speaking up the truth when it comes to doing that. And I'm not interested in whatever anybody will do thereafter. It becomes the person's clear business and all that. But the truth in River State must be said, because Rivers people have been quiet for too long, and this has affected them in every ramification. It has affected them in every ramification. Multinationals are leaving the states. That's why we are saying that if you need investors to come, you must make the place economically viable for investors to come in, which is some of the prospects this governor has tried to do. And he said he came with consolidation. And someone was asked him a question. I said, "What are you consolidating?" Because we understand that the Wike administration performed below par. So if the Wike administration performed below par and you are saying that you want to carry out consolidation, what are you consolidating on? But we now saw that this man also has a different ideology in tackling and dealing with these issues. Let me tell you, how will an investor come to invest in a state that does not have its state budget public? I'm a procurement expert, and I tell you any day, anytime, that you cannot have, how do you carry out procurement when you don't budget for it? We'll run a state for 8 years without our budget in the public domain. And you want an investor to invest.
On radio, they tell us what the budget for this year is.
My brother, it is not enough to come and tell us that you're budgeting 100 billion for this for 2024. And it's not enough. We have to look at, go through the budget one after the other. What are you using 2 billion for? What are you using 1 naira for? What are you using 2 naira for? That amounts into 100 billion.
In the
We have, because
space.
yes, we deal with the budgets of each state and each and of the federation. If the president had come to announce, I am bringing out a 16 trillion naira budget to the National Assembly, without us having the details of this budget, Nigerians will be worried. And in Rivers State, we have had that for 8 years. We had that in Rivers State, and you expect an investor to come and invest in a state whose budget is kept in secrecy, whose budget we don't know. And that's why we are saying that SIM should actually come up with something different.
Comrade Chetam, hold on, pump your brakes a bit. You're listening to us. This is Civil Bears Rhythm, 93.7 Port Harcourt, and his viewpoint. The second segment, we're looking at putting citizens' interests above personal agenda. Putting citizens' interests in Rivers State above personal agenda. We're talking to Comrade Chetam Thierry Nwala. We're live on Facebook. So Rhythm 937 PH, we are talking to our next guest, Chetam Thierry Nwala, Esquire, via virtual. So let's take some calls now. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I heard just saying we've not had a Rivers governor. I think he is very right. He is very, very correct, because from the opinion of the former governor, he is not a master distributor, possible dividend, democratic dividend, everything. Everything he did was ethnic or one-sided. It was just one, two left-sided. So I agree with him on that part. So all that we are saying is let him give him a British face for him to, deliver democracy. We cannot overthrow British. Because what we do in this administration. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's the first caller. Let's go on to other calls. Hello. Rhythm 937 Port Harcourt's viewpoint. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and go ahead. 1 minute.
Good morning. My name is Jude Obani. I'm started from Anuma. Yes. One, I don't know why you people should be bothering yourselves with the issue of safe over the governor and his boss in court. Because
wait, hold up. Who is bothering? Hold up. When you use terms, you should use it wisely. If you say, why are you people bothering yourselves? You are that came off wrongly. I think that's the wrong term. The people and citizens' interest. Hold up. The subject is citizens' interest above personal interest. So if you're coming to say that why are the citizens bothering, then that means you just don't understand what the subject is about. Are you not a citizen of Rivers State?
Okay.
Will you prefer that some people who are in power their interest should be above the populace?
If you finish, let me
then go ahead. You didn't answer it, but go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, we're all saying, many of us, including me, that things should be given the free hand to govern the state. Right? That's what everybody is saying. And we are at the same time saying that the common governor is included, I mean, you use the word included in the governor, in the leadership that shows to writing. That's why I use the word bothering. And then the governor has come up openly to say, Wike is his boss. I said in quote, listen to me. And if Wike is his boss, and not Rivers people, we should take directives from his boss. Their boss with the duties and responsibilities to you. That's what boss means. So Rivers people are his boss. The governor's boss.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, you cannot be taking advice from one person who has ruled before and as against the people you are ruling. That's very wrong. So, Baba, thank you for your call. Hello.
My name is Akanto.
Akanto.
I'm calling from Akanto Street here in Orogon. Good morning, and there you are, my brother.
Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yes, I think it is right in governance. It's a very good topic, and you should be a research topic. I think to me, as a citizen of River State, I think the governor over has done well in the area of a promotion of the secretariat teachers, giving promotion to some partner civil servants if the motivated them put their allowance. Yeah, ahead once on the project, including the Bori internal roads where we are here in Bori. We have done several things in human development, things on the schools, and also setting some teachers or lecturers from the higher institution in the university. I think that to me, we don't want to join the corner and trouble water in the state. You know, behind every trouble, there only a success story. And I know as a calm governor, people is doing well. What River people need, including me, is to support and give his support. Any trouble between his father and the former governor, I think should be amicably resolved. And I know in the coming days, to resolve it. But the governor should also step up again. Step up again beyond what he has done to go ahead to ensure that River people are happy because the structure are the people. Structure as Canada, the River State, the structure as me, you, your people who are benefiting from the word of the state. For me, let us bring peace. For me, let us class for peace. Let us be peace.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Akanto. Let's pump our brakes on the calls. Let me just read. Sorry, my guest. I'm going to read 2 comments from our Facebook. Then we'll come back to you. This one is from Rayvon Wilson from our Facebook. If you want to join in on Facebook, Rhythm 937PH, we're live. Drop your comments. Rayvon Wilson says there are lots of things people don't say in this state because of fear and oppression. Even people taking sides are doing so because they do not want to be reduced to nothing, but they know the truth. The last controversy almost sparked and created the room for people to speak, but immediately the governor went to apologize, everyone went back to reset. Now, Comrade Lebari says, creating a free internet service within Port Harcourt Township is one of the best innovations of St. Fubara's in River State. I personally trust that if Governor Sim Fubara is allowed to operate as a governor, he will do well to develop River State much better. Then the last one I will read for now is coming from Ndubeze Benjamin, and he says, let's be realistic. Politicians will empower the youth with confiscated weapons and will promise them a better future by empowering them legitimately, either by offering them a job or favorable loans or grants after the election. But both the winners and losers of the election will leave them with no hope. So they have no choice than to empower themselves with the confiscated weapons given to them by the politicians. This will always give birth to crime and insecurities. Okay, let's come back to you, Comrade Chetam Thierry Nwala. What do you say? Any reaction to the calls and messages I read?
Okay, first of all, the first caller, I think should be second caller. I must state that the reason why we're talking is because we're Rivers people. And whatever disagreement, whether it's a party issue or whatever, between the governor and the minister of the FCT, affects Rivers State directly or indirectly. And Rivers State is of interest to us. So that is why we're speaking on the subject of Rivers. And that is why we will not leave it in their hands to settle. Because whatever decision they make and whatever crisis they have affects us. Let me give you an example. The National Assembly was burnt down. National Assembly built, House of Assembly built by Rivers taxpayers' money, and that same House of Assembly will be renovated or repaired using taxpayers' money. It was brought down. It is a public property. It's of interest to us. The governor was actually poured hot water and all that. It is Rivers governor. He is the image of Rivers State. He's the image of Rivers State. So we can't allow such things. And you're telling us the father and son. There's no father and son anything in this whole thing. It is of interest to Rivers people because this man, until probably the court says otherwise, he is the image of Rivers people. And we must respect that. And we must also go ahead with that. Now, when we look at the issues happening in the state and some of the prospects, like the free internet services, earlier this year or sometime during the middle of this year, I was in East Africa. And let me tell you something I observed. In every building, in every facility in East Africa, especially in Nairobi, you'll find that there is a free internet services. It is a law. You must have free Wi-Fi services for people, for your customers, for people in there. So when they came up with this idea, some of us applauded it. But the question and what we keep on saying is that, to what end? What do you want to achieve doing that? The administration has to come up with a clear-cut agenda in that particular area and in that particular regard. Let us know what you want to achieve doing this. Do you want to create an economic hub, which is quite important? We must create IT hubs across Rivers State. We must create an IT hub sponsored by the state government. It is not this thing, this jamboree they do. They say they are organizing computer training for 5,000 people, organizing this. Come on, the world has moved beyond that. The world has moved beyond that. And Rivers has to also grow in that light. We are too analog as a state. We have to make progress. We must not sit back and every time, the point of conversation in Rivers State is politics. It is very irrelevant things we talk about in the state. We must move beyond that particular level because at this point, the world is progressing. We have to progress with the world.
All right, Nwala, because of time, we have just less than 5 minutes before we round off. There is a report that anti-SIM Fubara lawmakers have allegedly regrouped in Abuja in the name of training. Do you think this will calm tension or escalate to another thing?
See, anybody who tells you that the crisis in the state is gone, the person is actually lying. The crisis in Rivers State is alive and well. Forget about the pictures you see here and there and all that. The crisis in Rivers State is alive and well. You can even see it from the body language of the FCT Minister. And let me say this to you. You know, they had tried to make a move for the National Assembly to take over the legislative business of Rivers State House of Assembly. And that move failed at the National Assembly. That was about 2 weeks ago. I was at the National Assembly. And that move failed.
Who are they? Who tried to make the move?
The people who actually did that, they know themselves and they can hear my voice. So at the right time, we'll mention names. But for now, these things happened. And that ploy actually failed at the National Assembly because that motion was not moved at the end of the day. Now, they are trying to regroup. And we also, there are lots of things happening underneath. And Rivers people are thinking that everything, that is why we keep on hammering and saying that these things should end so that Rivers State can progress, so that Rivers State can move forward. Whether they are saying that they are anti-SIM or pro-SIM and all that, what we want a progressive Rivers State. And we have all said that we are backing the governor, we are supporting the governor to achieve that progress in Rivers State. See, there is a lot for the FCT Minister to do at the FCT. A lot of work to be done here at the FCT. We expect him to concentrate on that job. The job given to him, he should concentrate on it. It's an enormous job to do to fix the FCT. He needs to concentrate on it. He's actually distracted. And I want to call on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If Governor Wike is not ready to concentrate on the FCT, remove him as FCT Minister so that we can have our street lights back in Abuja. We can have Abuja working again. Because since this whole thing is also affecting Abuja, nothing is working in Abuja also. So the president, if Governor Wike is not ready to focus on his duties as FCT Minister, please remove him as FCT Minister. Let us get a minister who will be ready to focus on the FCT and get the job done. We can't continue to have him being distracted, running after Rivers State and running after the FCT. That cannot continue. Let him focus on this job and get it done.
Before I let you go because of time, what would you suggest should be the way forward for SIM Fubara-led government in Rivers State? So that we can put the citizens' interest above a group of persons and structure.
the governor must stand as a man. That is the first thing. The governor must stand as a man and stand with Rivers people, because Rivers people are standing with him.
As it's
The
a
fact that
man
Rivers,
now, then why would you say stand as a man when he's a woman?
you
He's
can
a man. What will you
can
use
be
to validate this opinion and to stand as a man? Going forward, who will he work with as a speaker? Because on his Facebook, is the congratulatory message on Edison and he as the speaker is still there. So what do you suggest going forward?
Well, the point is that we have seen orders flying left, right, and center from both parties and all that. And what we are saying is that if the governor has recognized Edison here as Speaker of the House of Assembly, he should continue to work with him to achieve the growth of Rivers State. Because you can't stay in Abuja and start determining how things should be run in Rivers State. And that's why we are saying that the governor must stand his ground on these issues. He has the support and the backing of Rivers people. And that is what is important. That is what is important. Anybody who is trying to undermine his leadership, he shouldn't take that from them. He shouldn't take that as what we said. He should stand as a man, and he should actually stop this whole romance thing and all that. Wike is not interested in romancing with him. Wike is ready to nip him on the board and make sure that he gets that thing he has in mind. So the governor as well has to stand with Rivers people, as Rivers people has also showed solidarity to him. That is what we are saying.
All right, thank you very much. This is how much you can take because of time. The news at 10 is up next. Thank you very much, our guest, Comrade Chetam Thierry Nwala, Esquire, for being available for us. God bless you. Thank you very much. And this is the point we'll draw the curtains. We just rounded off this second segment, putting citizens' interest above personal agenda. And we did this via virtual. And right now, I'm sorry I can't take any more calls. My name is Charles Baridam. This is Civil Bells Rhythm 937 Port Harcourt's Viewpoint Rhythm's prime news and current affairs program that airs every Saturday from 8:15 till 10 and is produced by Clem Ufoku, and the man by the console doing the magic is Victor Chemono. The news at 10 is up next. Thank you very much.